14 cats?
I had 30, what are you talking about?
Wow.
Yeah.
We got a weird idea. We thought we'd drive around, just knock on random doors, talk to random people, ask them random questions. We arrived at one house and met with 90-year-old Juanita.
So there's some of the cats there.
Oh, yeah.
I told you there was
You
much
moved
gas.
closer
She's
than
lived in
me.
the same house since she was 17 years old. It's the house her husband and her bought when she was 17, the day she got married.
17 years old, and I moved in here. And that was in 1941.
You and your husband,
Uh-huh.
what was his name?
Willard LeMay. He wasn't in service.
How did you guys meet?
I met him at old-timey revival that they have out in the yard down on 3rd Avenue South. He was there that night, and so was I.
Now, I noticed when we came in, I believe you were smoking, weren't you?
I smoked.
And you're how old again?
90. They say cigarettes will kill you. That's a damn lie.
What is something in life that you've overcome that was hard to get through? What was the hardest thing that you've ever been through?
My son having polio. That broke my heart. And then when this one was born, he had a pyloric stenosis operation and was unconscious for 5 days, and it destroyed his inner ear. It broke my heart.
Is he completely deaf?
He's completely dead.
So he reads lips or
No, he
sign?
talks on his hands, and I do too.
What was the happiest time of your life?
When they took him in school, that's one of the happiest times. And I was crying one time because my son had erysipelas in his knee because he crawled and he got germs in it. It broke my heart. Oh, he suffered so bad with his knee. And he told me, he said, "Don't cry, Nita." Juanita, that's what he called me. My name's Juanita. And he called me Juanita. And he said, "Don't cry about that, he'll be well tomorrow." I had a wonderful life. God provided my life, and I enjoyed every breath of it. People sit around and long for this, that, the other. That's the reason why I still live in this house. This is what my husband provided for me.
We drove around with the idea of asking random strangers random questions. Questions like, what's the hardest thing you ever had to overcome?
Divorce.
Divorce? What was that like?
Very painful. Discouraging.
So where are you from originally?
West Tennessee. Memphis.
Memphis? What brought you here?
Marriage.
If somebody was watching this, if you could give them a piece of advice that would help them out in life, what would that piece of advice be?
Take life one day at a time and laugh all you can. It's too short.
And are you in a relationship today? Just kind of waiting it out.
Yep.
How long again have you been divorced?
About 2 years in July.
So what is the toughest thing you've ever overcome in life? The hardest obstacle?
My dad being in jail for 2.5 years. I was like 12 years old, and then I was out, mowing lawns and stuff like that to help pay bills because it was just me and my mom. And hit 14, I went to Kroger's, got a job there for a while. That was the youngest place I could think of that hired. Kroger's hired box boys at 14.
So you were taking care of the family at 14?
Until my mom got on her feet and got her disability, I was taking care of as much as I could.
Do you still reflect on that today?
Yeah, it definitely impacted me. I kind of lost some respect for my dad a little bit, but he's gaining it back now. He's out, he's doing good.
I moved up here after Hurricane Katrina. I recently moved to here in Nashville.
So I bet Hurricane Katrina was the hardest thing you ever went through yourself.
Yeah.
So how old were you when that happened?
Probably around 10 years old.
Wow. So what do you remember about that?
All I remember really is my dad, because like a couple years after he moved up here, he ended up passing away.
That's got to be hard to go through. Do you still think back on that yourself?
Yeah, a lot.
What's it like now? I know you said that you have some anxiety issues in
Yeah.
life. What is it like living with anxiety?
It's hard. It's really hard.
What would
would you tell someone who's watching this? What kind of advice would you give them?
All I can really say is keep your head up because you're not alone. And I also got PTSD, so that doesn't really help either. But I'm doing the best I can for me and my son.
So it's you two and your son together.
Yeah.
Wow.